Hey, I'm Scott Cason in this little bitty box over here.
Hi, Scott. And
Hey, David.
you're watching the Charleston Times, aren't you?
Yeah, that's just
Well,
charming.
Scott, a couple of things in the news today I'd like to just hop right on. Don't know whether you saw the article in the Post and Courier. And the amazing thing about Skype, Scott, is that I can go back to the article right here and read it to you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes, indeed.
I mean it. Basically, I don't know whether you remember this or not. The city, when was it? Back in April, I think it was, declared an outside smoking ban. Now, personally, I don't know how constitutional it is, but apparently it hasn't been challenged, so I guess nobody cares enough. But,
So wait a minute, we can't smoke out. You can't. I don't smoke, but you do. But who? You can't.
You cannot smoke on, you ready for this? Calhoun Street from Rutledge Avenue to Courtney. You cannot smoke from Calhoun to B Street.
I mean, I mean, don't you think the cops might have some more important things to do?
And number two, this is once again the law of unintended consequences. This person, who is it, Reggie Cannon, let's see, 3 months after smoking was banned around Charleston's Hospital District, drop butts are so common across the street in Cannon Park that even other smokers are appalled. Appalled, I tell you, shocked. And said apparently they're just filling up the ashtrays, and when they get full, they just throw it right on the ground. Now, why would they do that? Why would they go to Cannon Park? Well, because they cannot smoke on that side of Calhoun Street. They have to go across the street.
Yeah, people that smoke, which I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't smoke, but you know what? They're going to smoke as long as they're smoking. And yes, we know. But my goodness, what?
I'll be the first to admit it's insane, smoking.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I get any letters or comments or anything, shut up. I know it's bad. All right. But there you go. I've got nasty habits. I take tea at 3. I just, what do you think of that?
Well, I think, I mean, how far are they going to go here? I mean, and I assume that this whole point is because of it's close to the hospital.
Right.
And, we don't want sick people coming out there breathing in the smoke. But, I mean...
They can't smoke because, of course, we know how many thousands it kills every year. Oh, by the way, it doesn't, but okay.
But I mean...
yeah, if you got a respiratory disease and somebody goes in your house and starts smoking, well, they're idiots, and yeah, that's secondhand smoke. But I'm talking about just sitting around smoking. I'm not going to get into that. What I do want to get into is, once again, I think this is an overreach by the city government.
Well, of course.
I really do.
Yeah, and I mean... I don't know. I mean, okay, you could say they're public streets and all that and everything. But yeah, don't you think? I mean, when I think about crime, I think about things that the police really need to take care of. And if I'm a cop and I got to, if I got to go riding around, car 513, there's a smoker spotted on Calhoun Street. And we need to be there. And we hear the siren going. Yeah. And then it's all of a sudden they show up. The guy throws it out. What are they going to do? They're going to do
under the ground, put the gun to his head.
Or are they going to search him to see if he's got contraband cigarettes? Okay, if he does, they still can't prove that he smoked on the street. If he threw it out, let's take him to court. Oh, let's go to court.
Cameras are everywhere. Cameras? No, I'm serious.
But how are you going to enforce it? How are you going to enforce it? Seriously, somebody says, now a cop goes by and sees.
In Mount Pleasant, correct me if I'm wrong. I try not to go to Mount Pleasant as much as possible. But Mount Pleasant, it is my understanding if you light a cigarette in a bar, it is a $500 fine. If you get caught with a joint, it's a $100 fine. Now, what the hell's wrong with that picture?
Well, yeah. I think.
Once again, government making decisions for people. I mean, I'm not going to go back into the whole, if you want to have smoking in your restaurant, you should be able to. I really believe that. If you don't want to go there, you know they've got smoking, get over it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But I like the food. Well, get takeout.
Yeah, sure. I mean, let the choice.
But this is just the smoke Nazis. And those of you who say, oh, well, I don't smoke and you deserve it. No. They're coming after you next. Ask the people that the IRS.
Hey, you know something, and I don't want to put words in Sheriff Al Cannon's mouth, but I remember a long time ago, back when I used to host a talk show, and we were he called me up and got the discussion about drug legalization, and we had a little debate over it, but it was a good debate, and he raised the point, and this, David, I think was back in the 90s. It was early 90s, but I remember him saying, he says, you watch that there will be more restrictions on cigarette smoking, and I'm paraphrasing him, and less restrictions on pot smoking. He says you'll start to see them starting to a lot more hard come downs on cigarettes, but the pot is going to be much more lenient and maybe even be Then
I have an idea. This is just silly me. All right. Cigarettes are so bad, make them illegal.
See how that works out.
Legalize pot. Huh. All right. I mean, if that's your problem, I don't think either one should be illegal. But what I'm saying is, if it's that offensive, just make it illegal.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll wipe it right out because you've wiped out other drug use.
Oh yeah, let's just.
Wiped out other drug use. Damn.
Yeah.
Been as big a success as the war on poverty.
Yeah, let's see how that works out.
Yeah, let's switch gears here.
Yeah.
There's another story you and I talked about before we went on.
Absolutely.
I'll let you introduce.
Well, apparently, excuse me, I'm going to reach back for the paper, which I so. Thank you very much.
Well, good Lord, we wake up with the news of the Post and Courier every day, don't we?
City to bar owners police your crowds. Of course, Charleston nightlife could soon, this is from Skylar Croft, an ordinance make its way through the city council would require bar operators to provide security, police sidewalks in front of their businesses, and make sure their parking lots are cleared out 30 minutes after closing times. All doors and windows of establishments where music is played would have to be shut and sealed by 11 p.m. And management techniques for crowds would have to be observed, and security personnel would have to wear readily identifiable clothing. Now, let me ask you, David, those sidewalks in front of the businesses, are they not public sidewalks? I don't think the. Okay.
I believe they are, and here we go. Once again, we go back to what? Wait for it. Sidewalks. The city controlling sidewalks. Now,
they don't want
a little conundrum.
They want to. They want. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
If the city controls the sidewalks, and you can't smoke on the sidewalks,
exactly.
Why doesn't the city control the sidewalks in front of the bars? Just saying. I mean, I'm not trying to be difficult.
No, I think that absolutely. I mean, if they're going to be, they're going to say you can't smoke on a sidewalk, certain sidewalks, then but you've got to police and your crowd in front of the sidewalks. I tell you, it's just getting weird.
I'm good friends with Jim Curley, who owns AC's.
Yes.
And Jim's done a good job. I think I like what this says. It says some bar owners say the city is overextending its authority, essentially telling private enterprises how many employees they have to hire and require them to police crowds outside the doors and in parking lots. So basically what you're doing is you're making them hire more people and telling them what those people have to do. Now, once again, is that government's role?
No, it's not. And I'll tell you another thing, it's not. What kind of requirements are you going to have for the security personnel? Hey, remember that rock concert back in 1969, Altamont, where the Rolling Stones hired the Hells Angels for security? Okay, what do you now? Don't get me wrong here. I don't want to go too far off, but who's going to set the qualifications for the kind of security personnel you're going to have? I mean, you got, huh?
Strip clubs.
Yeah, are you gonna have a steroid monster out there who's looking for a fight, or are you gonna have somebody trained and who's gonna pay for the training? I mean, it's just silly. It's just damn silly.
Well, unfortunately, it may be silly, but it also may be law.
Yes, it may be.
However, it's not law yet. So I would advise anybody who finds this ridiculous to go down to City Hall and say something.
I mean, most bars have bouncers?
Most do, yeah. I would think they do, yeah. They've got people to take
Tickets?
IDs at the door,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a bar in so long after dark, I wouldn't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and it's been a long time for me. I mean, it's just they bore me. But unless I want to go see some music or something. No, that's a real good reason. I mean, listen, if I've been to one, I think the last one I went to go hear a rock musician play, or sometimes we'll go out, the wife and me, and after dinner or whatever. But that's been such a long. But still, even the point is that I've never. I mean, some bars are going to be unruly, and some are not, and then it's I believe.
You don't expect. I wonder if they make the Peninsula Grill do the same thing as they make ACs do.
Oh, good point.
In other words, what if somebody gets drunk, gets unruly in front of Hank's?
Exactly.
Does Hank have to,
Or 82 Clean. I mean, all of them have happy hours, don't they? Most of them.
Most of them, yeah, I think so.
Oh, or nightly.
Is it for is it an age thing? Now I'll admit, you rarely see fistfights outside of Hank's. All right, you rarely see any of that crap outside of Hank's. I don't know. I think goes off the subject, and I know we've got to go in a sec, but it seems to me that raising the drinking age is part of the problem on this, because I don't remember when the drinking age was 18, and I was around for that.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody went to bars in Charleston when they were 14. Serious, we did.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But the point being is that by the time college came around, all of us had learned how to drink.
Sure.
We had learned what was acceptable in public and what wasn't.
I mean, you had friends that were 18?
Says they clamped down on underage drinking so hard that all of a sudden these people are 21. I'll tell you, really quickly, I used to bartend in a place called Riptide Club on King Street. Mm-hmm. Very famous man had a son who went to Citadel. You and I interviewed him. Mm-hmm. And he was offered a great deal of money if he did not drink before his 21st birthday. He didn't. And I was there the night he turned 21. It was ugly.
Yeah.
It was ugly. So multiply that by everybody who's turning 21.
Well, how about the fact, I mean, not everybody's raised it. You can go off and put a gun in your hand and go off to war at 18, but you can't have a beer. Now, I'm sorry. If you got enough, if you're going to tell somebody they got to have the responsibility of being able to serve our country and God love them, should they be able to at least maybe have a beer every once in a while?
This bar business is just way overreaching.
It is.
You should too. Once again, I don't drink. It's not going to affect me. No, today it won't. But believe me, one day they'll be coming for you.
Absolutely, and they already are. We can go more into that.
Scott.
All right.
I'm David Farrell.
I'm Scott Kaysen.
And you're watching
Charleston Times.